Hey guys, come along as we transform this wine rack into a beautiful masterpiece. What we started off is this very plain wine rack. It was custom made for us by a gentleman in Kales River. For those of you who may be interested, hit me up in the comment section and I will share the details. What you're currently seeing at this point was my husband going ahead and drawing a stencil of the wine rack onto a piece of cardboard. This was so it would become easier for us to mount the actual cardboard cut out instead of lifting the entire heavy wine rack in order to determine where we wanted it positioned on the actual wall. Smart, right? What you're seeing here are the wine racks side by side. We ordered two, and the other one has slightly bigger holes so that it can hold our MCC bottles, while the other one is a conventional sized one for the conventional standard wine bottles. After the stencils were drawn onto the cardboard, we went ahead and of course cut them out. What I am showing you is the wood primer that we went in. It is in the color white, and then this is the actual spray paint in the shade rose gold. This is the final spray paint that we went in with on the wine racks. It was a family affair, guys. My daughter joined in for the fun. And as you can see, she was having a little bit of difficulty around the corners, but lo and behold, she made it. What you are now seeing is, of course, my husband going ahead and mounting the cardboard cut out onto the wall. This allowed us to be able to tell exactly where we wanted it positioned. After that, he went in with the primer. The purpose of going in with the primer was, of course, to make sure that we were protecting the wood surfaces, and then, of course, to also make sure that there is a lot of durability in terms of the final coating of spray paint that we went in with, which is the rose gold. This was quite tricky in the sense that we needed to make sure that we were covering all of the surface area with the primer. I must say, once I saw that white color being popped onto the wine rack, I was really close to changing my mind and actually saying I want the actual wine racks to be white. However, I held myself back and I waited until I could see what the actual color would look like. My husband went all over the wine racks, in between the holes as well, and we covered the inner part of the wine rack. Basically, every part that would be visible to the human eye, we covered with primer, including the edges, so that we could, of course, go ahead and cover it with the final coat of spray paint in the color that we wanted the wine racks to be in. Some more spraying. Very thorough job went into this. One could argue that spray paint is possibly the best finger exercise. It does take a lot out of you, but you know what? We were in with a mission. The assignment was understood, and we made sure that we did an absolutely thorough job with each and every one of those wine racks. As you can see on the side there, the other one was still waiting patiently to be spray painted, while my husband, of course, went in and completed the job on the one. Spray. This was no child's play, guys. As you can see, he needed to make sure that he gets inside the corners as well, right inside the actual wine rack, because ultimately every part where the final spray paint would hit, we needed to make sure that we cover in primer. And this is how it looked after, of course, we had covered it in the white primer in preparation for the final spray painting job. How cool is the stencil of the spray paint work, guys? This, of course, is the second wine rack. More of the same work went into it. Prime, prime, prime. We bought 2 sprays of the primer and we ended up using 1 3/4. So 2 sprays are absolutely going to be enough if you are looking to spray paint 2, while 1, of course, would be more than enough if you are spray painting just the 1 wine rack. What you are seeing now is, of course, my husband going in with the rose gold spray paint. I absolutely love the shine and gloss on this spray paint. After I saw it land on the wine rack, I was absolutely sure that I had made the right decision or right choice in terms of choosing to make it rose gold. It absolutely goes wonderfully with the aesthetic of my home, and I can already see it fulfilling the vision while it is still on the floor being spray painted. It is very important that you hold the spray nozzle at least 20 centimeters away from the surface area. This allows the spray paint to land effectively and to avoid any puddling of the actual spray paint, which often happens when you stand too close to the surface area. The spray is, of course, really strong, so it's important to crack open some windows, open the door, and even better, you can possibly do this outside, provided it isn't windy, because you do not want any flyaways sticking onto your wine rack while you are still busy spray painting it. Also very important to have a drop sheet. Like you can see, we made ours out of regular dustbin waste bags, and we cut them open and we stuck them together to make sure that our floors were protected. This really did ensure that we had no spray paint that landed anywhere on the actual tiles. We used the exact same drop sheet for another DIY project, which I will also show you, where we were transforming an old TV stand into a beautiful drinks trolley. I hope you will be on point to watch that video. It is really stunning. What you are now seeing is, of course, the final masterpiece. We went ahead and we mounted them one below the other on the wall. The one at the top is the one that will house all of our MCC bottles, while the one at the bottom will house all of the wine bottles. As you can see, the girl was absolutely excited to get in there and house her young wine collection. As you can tell, I am quite short, so it is a bit of a reach for me in order to be able to place the bottles. But one thing is for sure, those bottles are going to be nice and secure, even in the instances where we have small children visiting the house. I don't have to worry about them possibly pulling any bottles out and having them break. The same can't be said about the lower wine rack, of course, but hey, what can we do? We'll just have to keep an eye. I was so excited, and as you can see, the higher I go, the more of a stretch it becomes. But my MCCs finally have a home. I have been stashing my wine bottles all over my cupboards, and it was looking so shady, so tacky. So this for me was absolutely something I wanted for a very long time. And I don't want to lie, I love the design. It is quite unique, and it absolutely adds a decorative element to my living space. So I am super excited to be able to showcase this as a centerpiece in my house. I went ahead and I popped right in with my final bottle, which was one I picked up from Hout Cabrier in Franschhoek. And then of course, ta-da, onto the wine bottles. Went in with my bottles from Nederburg first. I've also got some wine bottles from Mazara. I've got some from De Grendel. I've got some from Merendal. I've got some from the Durbanville Hills. Basically, every wine farm I have been able to visit this past summer, I managed to pick up a bottle, and this is exactly where I'm popping them in. Who doesn't love a good bottle of wine? I mean, you can never have enough, right? In we went, filled up my beautiful wine racks with my variety of wines. Of course, there is still quite a lot of space left over to be filled up, but I'm not in a hurry, of course. The important part is none of my bottles are now homeless. All of them have found a beautiful home, and I couldn't be happier. If you are still here watching to this very point, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for choosing to watch this video, and I hope you did find some inspo in terms of what you can possibly do in terms of housing your wine bottles. If this was your first time over here, I do hope you consider clicking that red subscribe button and becoming a part of this family. On this channel, we produce lifestyle content, mainly in the form of vlogs, but every now and again I will do a cute sit down and share some masterpiece work with you like the one above. Thank you so much. Cheers.